welcome. We are live with Dining and Doodles as we do every Saturday, where we do requests by you, the fans. And so if you have a request, if you want to send it up through the chat, or if you want to just send in a message, if you're watching this later, you can post a response in the comments below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Brittany Dotson, otherwise known as Embria Arts, and we do these requests by fans every Saturday. We also do live streams. We do a couple of gaming streams, and we do a couple special things. Like today, we did a special, but keep in mind that one is very deep. It was in honor of 9/11. Sadly, we had went into a bit more detail, and I'm going to just lightly state that yes, do not watch that video unless you're ready for some deep content. Keep that in mind. But today, for this stream, we are going to keep things light. We're going to try and keep things cheery. And if you want to just say hi or drop a chat, say hello in the chat, then I will keep an eye as we draw today's request. Until then, let's get on with the show, okay? Let's see. There we go. Let's get some dancing going and bring on over to our draw. Today's request was to do a drawing of Young Cricket from WarioWare. Now, I only know two characters from WarioWare, personally. I know Wario and I know Ashley. And the only reason I know Ashley is because of the song in Smash. That's it. So I'm not familiar with Young Cricket. I am guessing he's a Kung Fu artist. But this was a request from Good Guy Forever 18 off of DeviantArt. He requested Young Cricket in a karate gi wearing sandals that expose on their bare feet. So we're going to have to try and do this as best we can. We have a picture of what Young Cricket right here looks like. We're going to do this from scratch. And I'm going to try and give him sort of a karate position, sort of kung fu position. So let's first sort of give our bare bones going. So we're just going to do our bare skeletal structure there. I think I'm going to try and do something along the lines of maybe a little bit towards the crane kick from the Karate Kid, and also, I mean, there's reference of it in Cobra Kai if you watch that series as well, because it's a continuation of the series. So, I mean, it's relatively the same almost pose that he's in, but I'm going to have his hand going out, so he's going to be sort of doing this balance. Now, some of the area points that are in the request is I need to make sure that I show the bare feet. And this is going to be an issue where it's not an issue for me because I know how to draw feet, but it's one of the things that a lot of artists struggle with is hands and feet. So let's talk about drawing hands and feet today as we do today's live stream. So one of the things when you draw any figure, you kind of do want to start with like a basic stick figure. It looks like he keeps his neck tucked in, so his body is going to be kind of that way. He's looks young, so I mean, he doesn't look like he's more than a teenager. He's kind of a skinny one at that. He has kind of a cross between a karate gi and it looks like a hoodie here. Which, I mean, it's an interesting outfit. So we're going to do something like this. His arm's going to be out. And we're going to put his hands like this. And while you're sketching, you kind of want to get an idea of how you want your hands, how you want your feet. Whenever you're doing any kind of sketching, you kind of want to lay out the building blocks that you're going to work from of a character. So we're going to just do some basics. We want to indicate that he's got this bracelet around. We're going to do his face right in here. His hair kind of goes in and out like this, but it shapes his face also. And I will say, while this is a humanoid character, it's a very simple character design. There's not much to him. He's kind of cartoony. So it's not going to be that difficult to draw this one. And seeing as how we've already done 2 hours stream this morning or this afternoon, and we did a 5-hour stream yesterday. This may be a short stream. This may be one of our shortest. I'm going to draw the basis of his feet, which is, and then we'll work with the sandals. I think what I'll do is I'll do kind of Naruto sandals almost with him. But he wants them exposed bare feet, so see, that's the hard part. I mean, does he want flip-flops or does he want sandals? Sandals aren't really bared feet. And we might adjust where the character's sitting. But like with hands, when you draw a hand, very simple concept is that thumb is always going to be on either the right or left side. That almost equals the finger, the bottom of the finger. And if you look, that's on your own hand. That is sort of where your finger runs. It usually runs between here and here, depending on how realistic you want to go with. That's where your thumb is likely going to be full length of. The middle finger on men tends to be longest. On women, the index finger tends to almost be equal. It's just a nice little note to think of when you're drawing that character in a more realistic concept. That's kind of what you do with hands. Now with feet, you actually draw 1, 2 balls, and you kind of go flat. And you curve those around. And then with toes, you just kind of curl them up towards the end. I mean, you could have long toes on the character. I certainly can't debate against that because I'm a person with very long toes. So, I mean, it depends on how you want your character to look or how the drawing you want to look. So, I mean, right now I'm just doing some basic setups for the hand. We're going to sort of shape his hair here as well. Looks like there's a swirl there that goes to the back, that goes here, that goes here. And we just get a hint of his ear. We're going to take that, lighten that up. I'm going to move it up a little bit so we can work on the foot on the bottom, since that is what was requested of the drawing, was the importance of the feet. To each their own. As always, I am willing to draw whatever people like. If they want me to draw somebody's feet, here we go. We're going to draw some feet. So on this sort of second layer, we're going to kind of touch up on the areas, and we're going to just sort of go in a bit more detail as to what we're going to do. So we're going to just get into the details of his shirt. Let's see. All right, he tends to have this longer, wider sleeve areas. So we'll do that. A little knob here, knob here. Do his eyes. And this is, of course, by no means the end result here. So we're just this is just to sort of get the details. So when we go back over, we can get more a feel for the finer stuff. And these are all little tricks that you want to do, especially when you're working from scratch in a drawing. If I were going to be doing a comic, I would start with the character and slowly draw out and do this kind of stuff. So the first page of a comic or the first panel of a comic would literally be what I designed sort of for the pinpoint of the character. Now, does he... Okay, Nintendo gave him a full 5 fingers. So he's a normal human, not a cartoony human, in the sense that he's got all 5 digits, and not 4. And we'll just bring that on over. So we do something like that. Bring the thickness over here. This character has very thick lines. So when I'm going to go over and do the inking for the character, I'm going to make sure that we kind of keep that concept. So I'm going to make sure we still give them the 5 toes, but I want to try and make sure that we kind of keep the foot accurate to his body. So actually it would be skinnier because he's a teen. There for the ankle. That'd be the And we're just going to kind of get a feel for where the toes are. To do this right, that here goes there. Then we'll have one here, go here. One here, go here. And I see one small problem, but we're going to correct that because this is where we correct things. This arm is longer than that arm, so we're going to fix that in multiple ways. So first we're going to fix it in the hand and arm. If I can. Come on. So we just do a little bit of change up. Just a little scaling. So we're going to shrink it down, move it over. Fly transform. And we're going to do the same, a little bit of the same on this side, or on the full arm. So we're going to move it over. Now I'm not going to scale it, but I am going to move it. So this time we're just going to move it on in a little bit. So that way we have sort of an evenly dispersed layer. And now we're going to work on the sandal part. And I'm guessing he wants sort of like karate sandals or kung fu sandals less than others. So we're going to give him straw sandals, which is sort of atypical, which are just going to kind of be like this. The sort of primitive Asian footwear of the time. If you've seen me, some of the characters I've designed for Bakery Girls requests, you may have seen sort of the similar sandals. They're very simple. They're not difficult to draw. But typically you wouldn't be barefoot in a straw sandal. It's kind of rare. You'd usually wear I forget what it's called, but it's a special sock with straw sandals. And we're going to fade it again, but we have an idea of where we're going. We're going to just deal with the outline, and then we'll deal with this sort of inward hair as we go. I am going to go through and mark spots where we'll do the sort of ties. I think we do 5. He's got 4 actually of note, but I could probably guess he's got 5. We'll do the next layer. This time we're actually using a pen tool. And I'm going to start right here on the leg. So we just kind of want to keep it steady. And it's a thick line because it's a thick lined character. We're going to do this. Keep it steady. And we'll do this. Whenever you do pen tool, especially in any kind of art program, be it Adobe. Well, I mean, it is going to be different in Adobe than it is in CS Paint. In CS Paint, you kind of want, and it's the same with typically with art. You don't want to kind of do stag, 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 stag. You want a straight line. And part of that is it brings in a clean one. Now, if you're doing a lot of detail, you might want to do the stagnation. You might go into the stagnation fairly easily. Just keep in mind, especially if you're doing a cartoonish character like this one, I have a new series that kind of premiered a little bit that I'm working on this week. And that's very cartoony, so I have some of the characters in harsh, dark line. It's a good, quick, clean way to bring the character out. But it also means I have to do straight, simple lines. And if I screw up on it, I have to redraw that line. And so we're going to go down. And we're just going to do these thick, and I'll come back over with a white in the middle. So we're just doing these nice and thick. Have I ever played a WarioWare game? No, I have not. I think I've tried it like in the GameStop or something. I have no objection to playing one. It's just something I've not spent money on. I mean, I do like Nintendo. Wario is, yeah, he's more of a sick, disgusting character in my opinion. But I mean, he's there to be the crass humor character for Nintendo. And I mean that's intentional. He's the disgusting, gross character, and a lot of series, a lot of cartoons, especially American cartoons, that's a very classic character. Um, in fact, I think that's probably why Wario exists. Honestly, in while there is, of course, fart humor in anime and in manga, it's not as common as it is in American culture. It's almost to say that America has much lower brow humor, I guess. Um, and I mean, yeah, there is some crasser anime out there, and they do go in the lowbrow. let's just bring that on around. And as you can see, we are getting pretty far pretty fast in this drawing. And that is because, one, I've warmed up, and two, very simple character. Simple characters sometimes are an artist's delight because but they also can be an artist's doom. Meaning they can screw them up quite easily. In fact, I'm kind of screwing up the hand a little bit here. We wanted that finger to there, that finger to there. And I'm going to do a little tuck under with that hand or finger. I might come back and do something with that hand. I'll do that probably last. If you note, I like to use this G pen because it gives me different shapes of line. And while I'm doing his face, I'm not changed the size of the pen. I'm just touching it at a different rate than I would with it as it was. And of course, we put the dark hair point right there, and that is all black. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit that black there. You come down to the feet. I'm just going to do the sandals real quick. And I will probably, well, I mean, I'm going to do definitely color this, but I'm probably going to add a few details with the pen as we go. So let's get his toe here, little toes here, and baby toe there. Ankle. And I just like with hands, drawing feet, it takes practice. So the best way to do it is to make yourself draw. It's not saying you can't get a job without drawing feet. Most infamously, the artist Jim Lee, known for X-Men and then going over to DC and doing Batman, and I think he's still in charge of DC now. And he, of course, had Wildcats in the 90s. That was his own creation. He could not draw feet to save his life. And that was very much known back in the 90s. Now, I think he's gotten better. I think he's no longer trying to hide his feet. But back in the 90s, especially during his X-Men run, he would literally hide the feet because it was his weak spot. And every artist has their weak spots, be it background work, be it hands or feet. Those tend to be where most people have their weaknesses. Mine, it's mechanics. If you ask me to draw something mechanical, it'll take me a while. I have taken mechanical art lessons to try and improve my skill, but it doesn't mean I haven't gotten, or it doesn't mean I still can't have issue with it. Okay, let's try and do his inner hair. So this sort of comes down as a streak and up, then over, streak down. Well, a little too far there. One of the things I did want to talk about today, uh, it's not related to what we talked about earlier today with 9/11. I wanted to talk about what people would want to see in these streams. Not just the drawings, live drawings. Would you like to see comics? Would you like to see uh, the process of bringing forth a character design? Would you like to see sort of how-tos, learn how to draw, um, reviews of other people's art? What would you, as an audience of this series, like to see? And I am perfectly fine in just keeping things as is. But I mean, there's always, it's good to know when to change or when to add content or change content up. What would you like to see? We still didn't do that hand. And I just tried to color it in. Would you like to see more gaming? I mean, pretty much most of the games we've been doing, it's a mixed bag if people watch the streams. Um, we're currently doing Stardew Valley Expanded. I'm trying to kind of keep us on the move in that game, so I've been playing a lot of it off stream as well as on stream just to get things up. I will say we've gotten things set up, and if you caught our live stream with the Expanded last time, I said I didn't know if we would, or I was betting on second place. And the fair, the first year with the fair, we got first. So we actually won the fair for the first year. And that was kind of a shock to me. I did not expect that. Would you like to see stories be told? I am a accomplished writer in a sense. I do have a couple stories to tell. Would you like D&D stories told? I have years and years of gaming and D&D play. Things I probably wouldn't do because of time and computer capabilities, at least. Animation. I know there's several animators out there who do tons of artwork. Um, and honestly, I'm impressed by what they do. I would be happy to do it, but I just don't want my work tends to be a little more detailed than what most animators go for on YouTube. And so it would take a lot longer to draw. And so I tend to not focus on animation, at least not at this point. Um, I probably will bring back some animations that I've done before. There's copyright issues with some of them because I've used songs that have gotten changed over the years. Let's do this other hand. And let's actually change it up. I don't want to do the straight hand like I was doing here. Let's do something akin to maybe curving the hand a bit like this. No, I don't like the way that looked. Let's do let's kind of reflect a little bit towards what we got on below here. And we'll make the finger go out a little bit more here. There we go. Take the hand in. There we go. Bring that color over to the toes. And let's actually do this. Bring this over. We'll do a reflection of the blue because I think it's the same on his feet. Yeah, it's the same on his shoes. So we'll do a reflection of the blue here. Do a little bit more here. And we'll make the sandals. I'll make the sandals gray. That way we reflect that gray back in. A little too much there. Ah, that's the wrong one. There you're seeing some work I was doing, and I don't know why I went to that. So let's bring all of that, let's bring that back down here. And return to, so that was exactly what I was talking about. The series I hinted, I kind of shared with you all here on the live stream a couple of weeks ago. I'll go back to it. I mean, you can see I'm using a thicker line on this comic to draw it out. Whereas if I were to use, well, see, unfortunately, this is a script for Demon Blade. I haven't gotten to drawing it. I use more detail in Demon Blade. While it's a black and white comic, it's got a lot more precision and detail into the look of the characters. And when I want to go into something like the school that they're in this current chapter, primarily the football field. I try to draw out that thing, that element. Whereas the upcoming comic and then something like this, I will do this in probably 30 minutes to an hour. So it's something I can quickly spit in and out as an artist. Let's add, I'm going to add another dark spot because they use the black to create the light. For his hair, it's fine. Let's see here. Let's add his shadow. Again, we have another finger section to shadow. Right in there. We'll do a little bit of shadow here so we know that there will be a shadow cast here and a shadow on the ankle and heel. We'll just kind of slightly hit those toes with shadow. Again, right here, a little bit down on the ankle, heel, and we'll do a little more prominent shadow on the toes since it's supposed to be, he's got his foot up. And the last place that we need to do shadow work is on the gi. So let's do the gi here. And of course, I'm just using the colors that Nintendo has for the character in the shadow. So the reference is using the exact palette. And you'd have a little shadow here. But let's see, did they do, yeah, they do a back shadow as well. So we're going to do back shadow. Down there. And that seemed to be an open spot. So we'll deal with that down here. There we go. And let's add some shadow under his chin. And a little bit shadow under his hoodie element. So, a little bit of shadow here, 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 and here. And there we go. Young Cricket wearing sandals barefoot, as per requested. Like I said, this is going to be a very quick one. Whereas normally we do these in 2 hours, this was a 45-minute drawing. So is there anything else I want to go over? Well, I'm trying to think. We do have. I did just put up a new poll that that requests what people are looking forward on DeviantArt. If you want to go on there and put in a request there, you can vote. You can vote, or you can even leave a comment and say, "Hey, I want to see this thing," or "I want to see some new content. I want to see you do this or that." Put in those requests out there. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Definitely share these videos. It helps get me out there and attention wise. It helps promote my work. By all means, check out Demon Blade. Check out 11 Kingdoms, which is something I was promoting or pushing a little bit while I was doing the 9/11 stream. That is going to be re-released soon on Amazon. I am finishing up the work on that. And check out my artwork on DeviantArt and Patreon. By all means, go to patreon.com/demonblade, not Embryo Arts, Demon Blade. That is where you can become a patron, and you can put in a request for a comic piece. As long as you're a patron of $1, you can get a comic request in the round robin comic request that is done every week, with the exception of the filler weeks. And this week is a filler week. I don't know if we're going to be getting to the filler week this week, simply because I've done so much on streams, but we will see. But yeah, definitely check out the stuff. I know recently released today. I released it a bit late, but for those who like the series, The Bet That I Draw, which is a Digimon Frontier storyline, that is out available now. It is like Teacher's Punishment the week before. It is finally going into some juicy territory. So we're finally getting a little bit of maybe an end. I don't know, because both of them are requested by fans, and they're the ones writing the scripts. I just write sort of the commentary that they say. But before we go, let's get on to our sponsor. As always, I have a sponsorship with Built Bar. Today I had a double chocolate, which I believe is this one right here. Earlier today, these are low carb, low calorie, low sugar, high protein, keto friendly, and they focus on taste. Now, I will say, the double chocolate's probably my least favorite. I just happen to have an extra one on hand. Actually, I think that's a sea salted caramel. So take them out. But yeah, the double chocolate was probably my least favorite, but it's still delicious. I mean, who can argue? It's real chocolate. It's not some fake, fabricated chocolate. It is real. And they just announced something I've been eagerly waiting for a couple of months, and that is the return of Built Bar Puffs. What are Built Bar Puffs? They are chocolate and marshmallow in multiple flavors. And my God, if you've ever eaten a chocolate covered marshmallow, a dark chocolate covered marshmallow, that is exactly what these bars taste like. They are one of my absolute favorite bars that they come out with. And they come out with in multiple flavors. And the flavor they announced was banana. So, or banana cream. So, I mean, it tastes like a banana cream marshmallow. They also have the coconut marshmallow, and I don't think they have the strawberry, but I think they do have their regular maybe back. I haven't checked in a while. But definitely go to Built Bar's website at built.com and use the promo code EmbryArts to get 10% off. You will not regret it. These are perfect for a person who's on a diet. They are perfect if you want that protein kick in the day, or if you want to fight hunger throughout the day. These are perfect because they taste just like a candy bar, but they have a lot less sugar and a lot less carbs and calories. So go to built.com/embriaarts and get 10% off your order. Until then, as I said, like, comment, and subscribe to our work. And this series is entirely made by your requests. So if you have a request, definitely comment below or contact me through social media, and I will be more than happy to add that request. We are getting ready to go into October, and the middle of this week, I'm going to be announcing the official contest of Drawtober. Drawtober will be 30 days of requests, where it's going to be a new drawing each and every day. I don't know if I'm going to live stream them. I might, though. So, until then, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I know this was a shorter than regular one, but hey, sometimes we got to do shorter ones. So, have a good evening, have a good night, a good weekend, a good week,